Can a bankruptcy help with back income tax debt? The answer is most of the time, yes. First, if you have federal, state, or local income tax debt, the filing of a bankruptcy case will immediately halt the collection of that debt, and it will stay on hold for the pendency of the bankruptcy case. Now, most income tax debts are non-dischargeable, meaning that the bankruptcy will not completely eliminate them. However, there are exceptions. Income tax debt is generally comprised of three components: the face amount of the taxes owed, the interest that is accumulated, and the penalties that have been assessed on the debt. Very often, the penalty portion of the income tax debt that is owed can be discharged in a bankruptcy case, even if the face amount of the tax debt and the interest cannot. In many cases, the penalties are significant, and this can result in a lot of savings. Further, sometimes the entirety of older tax debt can be discharged. In most cases, that tax debt is at least more than 3 years old. However, that depends on when the actual returns were filed and if they were filed on time, whether tax liens were filed, and when the assessment date of the tax was made. So, eligibility to eliminate income tax debt entirely takes a bit more analysis. And of course, tax debt obtained via fraud can never be discharged. So, what if I have tax debt that cannot be totally eliminated? What then? Well, that's where a Chapter 13 bankruptcy case may be of use. In a Chapter 13, just as in all bankruptcy cases, collections halt immediately upon filing. A Chapter 13 involves the repayment of debt over time, and in a Chapter 13, you can pay your income tax debt over a period of 5 years at no interest. This is a massive benefit for most people with income tax debt, as the penalties halt and the payment tends to be much more reasonable than what you can get on an agreed-upon payment plan with the taxing bodies, if you can even get on a payment plan. A Chapter 13 is a very common method for people with non-dischargeable tax debt to take care of it over time and in a controlled manner. Word of warning, you need to stay current on future tax obligations while in the bankruptcy case, both the filing of the returns and the timely payment of any taxes due. Otherwise, the repayments set up in the Chapter 13 for the pre-bankruptcy taxes due may be in jeopardy. So, there are options for back income tax debt in bankruptcy. For an analysis of your situation, feel free to call me or any of the lawyers at my firm. With our experience, why go anywhere else?